Books Nelson with the At Me Bro Show, and today we will be going into a deep dive on Big Z, Zydrunas Ilgauskas. So let's break it down. So previously this was only Porzingis who was in this group. So we have three centers that are 7'2" or above that are kind of constantly, well, I guess four if you count Yao, really, that can shoot. All right. You've got Kareem, who's an excellent mid-range shooter, even in his normal pink diamond form. You've got Yao, who can obviously shoot threes, but he's very, very slow. And then you've got Porzingis, who is notably fairly weak on the interior, not the fastest card in the world. And then you've got Big Z in the new edition. Everybody else is more in the 7-1 or below range. DeAndre Ayton, who most people would also mention in that group, a card I actually like very much. Really sad to sell him. But Big Z is kind of a new wave of center because he has this, as we can see here, Hall of Fame shooting badges, including Hall of Fame quick draw. Everything else there, Deadeye, which is actually really big on centers because they're so tall that when they have Deadeye and you close out on them, they're just still open. Like, even in the corner, that's considered open for Big Z because he's so tall. So unless you block his shot, his three-pointers might be just generally considered to be open. So he is an elite shooting center on paper. We're going to take a look at his green window and his shot release and all that other stuff. But I've heard wonderful things. So he also appears to be a very good post-up center. He has deep hooks at Hall of Fame, drop stepper Hall of Fame, back down Punisher as well, contact finisher gold, pick and roller, which I heard gives you a little speed boost. I'm not sure if that's true. I have to look into that, but there's the chirpings that have been out there. He's got Hall of Fame post spin technician to help him out as well. Break starter and for some reason bailout. Don't know why he has that. The only usefulness I think for bailout on a center is if you hop step dunk into the lane and someone stonewalls you. That pass off of the hop step is a bailout pass. So this will probably not be a turnover with Big Z, whereas with other cards it would be. Then we look at his defensive badges. Hall of Fame brick wall and box out, fantastic. Hall of Fame intimidator, just outstanding. Moving truck, post move lockdown, rim protector, just all super great. This card looks amazing. So the one thing that would be an Achilles heel for this card is he very slow? By the way, the shooting ratings are also off the charts. You see the mid-range, the three-point shot are 91 and 97. I mean, that's outstanding. His driving dunk is only a 74, so that's one thing right off the bat. He's a big standing dunk character, not a big driving dunk character, but he's Big Z. We didn't expect him to have that. Pretty high driving layup. Great draw foul tendency. That's awesome. So you can pump fake people into oblivion with this card. So there we have the first one. The ball handle is a 35, so we're not expecting much out of that. Pass accuracy, not super high, but he does have break starter to help him out with that, which is great. Post moves, 92, 95, and 96 on post moves, hook, and fade, respectively. That's fantastic. Totally elite rebounder. Maxed out defensive rebound ratings to go with the badges, and almost maxed out offensive rating. Let me just double check. He had to see what his rebound chaser was on. What's his rebound chaser on? Does he not have rebound chaser? Oh, okay, so he doesn't have rebound chaser, but he has a really high rebound rating and he's 7'3". Now, so I've seen some people say basically, oh, this means that he sucks. My experience has taught me that rebounding is very generous to tall characters. Rebounding is very generous to tall characters. It's very generous to people with a large wingspan, which Big Z has, and he also has the rebound ratings. So he also has Hall of Fame box out. So before you cancel this card out from the standpoint of rebounding, I would 100% say play the card first and see how he performs in game, because I think that could be a really gross overreaction to him on paper. All right, and so we're going to get to his speed ratings as well. What's Big Z looking like on the rest of these speed ratings? So the number one thing with speed is not his actual speed, it's really the lateral quickness, right? See, he has an 80 shot contest, a 95 block to go through. This card might be a monster. So he has a 71 speed. This is extraordinarily respectable for a center. extraordinarily respectable for a 7'3" center. You know, a 65 acceleration, which also isn't bad. And believe it or not, that 60 vert on a 7'3", not the worst thing in the world. Stamina really high at 98. Strength is a 95. Wow. And his lateral quickness is a 60. Again, not good, but with his height and everything else, you might be able to keep him from getting completely burned by every character in the game. And there we see the hop dunks. That hop dunk animation was positively silly. Alright, so let's get stuck into it with Z. So we see the hot zones. He's got the big man hot zones at the corner and the top of the key to run the pick and roll. These are excellent for him because not only does he, and his release is just, this is, I'm going to go ahead and say right now, I think any card with a release this good that can do anything else is automatically usable, right? Like if a card with a release this good doesn't get burned on defense in certain situations, like the fact that he can lock up any post player, at least statistically. You got to play him in game to see how good the defense really is. And he also has hot zones everywhere and one of the best releases in the game. This card seems like a big W. I got two of these in pack pulls, and I'm not even going to lie to you guys, I really didn't want to sell the second one right away because my gut is telling me, man, there aren't 7'3" centers that can shoot and defend the interior. Like, he might be the only one that can shoot the 3 and defend the interior. Again, Kareem can shoot extraordinarily well from the mid-range shot when he's fully evoed, and he can actually hit threes with his 55 3-point rating. He actually does hit corner threes, but Big Z's a shooter. So he's the only guy that's a legitimate interior defender, a legitimate interior post player that can really cook like this. Because, look, the Porzingis card has its strengths, but let's be real. That card can get completely locked up by Anthony Davis. Whereas I don't know about the Big Z card. Big Z might be able to score over Anthony Davis. Between the height and the ratings and the badges and the hot zones, he has every tool available to him to get it done in the post for people who are really good post players. Look at that post hook. I mean, I'm not going to blaspheme and say that he's Kareem with a three-pointer, like, but he's like Diet Kareem with a three-pointer, right? So he doesn't get all of the other Kareem stuff because Kareem is like super fast, even at the diamond level. But he has the post hooks. He has probably better post fades than Kareem. Kareem's post fade is kind of unforgiving for some reason. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I just suck. But I have no problem post fading with Marc Gasol. I had no problem with DeAndre Ayton. And with Kareem, I miss so many post fades that it just bugs me. Now, my Kareem is diamond, not pink diamond. So maybe at the pink diamond level, he hits more of them. But I have a feeling with Big Z, his post fade game is positively killer. Alright, so let's start looking at these big fella animations. So first thing I'm going to look at is most important is his post launches and post hopbacks out of the post. Okay, so that 35 ball handle does not hurt him on the post launch there. We're going to try it going towards the baseline. Very quick. He moves pretty quick for a big guy, I have to say. He definitely moves pretty quick. Yeah, he turns right to the basket and dunks. He definitely feels a lot faster than his ratings would indicate when he's going to the basket. You guys see he's rolling right out of that really, really quickly. And because of all of these hot zones, we talk about this a lot, but I haven't done a big man video in a while, so it's worth revisiting. So one thing that's really, really strong is when you're posting up from this position and you have access to the post spin to the baseline, well, the post launch to the baseline, the post spin towards the basket, you have access to the post launch towards the basket, and you also have access to all your post fades. So that's a very prime position for a center. But one thing that you have if you're a center that can really shoot in the mid-range is you can post launch cross key scorer into that shot right there, and you have so many badges working for you into this shot, and you can even hop into it. So that right there is pretty much unguardable. That is a go-to move that I have used in many a situation, and it's like works basically every time. When you're in a pinch, shot clock winding down, or just triple threat. Although I don't know if I take Big Z in a triple threat online. He's very slow. So while he is a bucket, like you don't want to be guarding Bam Adebayo with this card. That's for sure. Not in 3v3. In 5v5 you got other people on the court, but in 3v3 that might be a little too much. But that right there, that can be a really good move with these cards. All right, so let's look at his full court big man dribbles. First of all, the card is just moving well up the court. He had something like a -100 speed with the ball. You guys can see the footage right now. He does not look like he has a low speed with ball rating, right? Like he's moving just fine. And this goes to the 2K motion system. I'm not going to get too into it, but the long story short is 2K does not have a motion system that accounts for characters that are that are like drastically different sizes, which is why all of the big characters move much faster than they're supposed to. So even though Big Z is not a speed demon by any means, he's also not like so slow that you can't run up court with him after a rebound and get something going. Like he can move a little bit, more than he's supposed to, for sure. So as you can see from the dribbles there, he has pretty terrible dribbles in the full court, except for his hesitation left stick crossover, which is a At Me Bro channel special at this point. Look at that left stick, look at that hezi into the crossover. That is some cheese. Who needs Shaq? What? Why can he do this? And he spins? Oh man. Like his spin is mad slow, I'm not gonna lie. But that's pretty cheese. Wally Warrior says post double step back. Yeah, let's get back into the post now that we check the full dribble animation. So this is post step back, which is gloriously good. Very smooth. Let's see if he can double hop. Oh, he definitely did not want to do that. Let's try that again. Get the high zones out of here. Oh, he does have a double. Okay, but he doesn't have the ball handle to do the double hop. Unfortunately, he cannot do it. You see his step back is actually useful on the perimeter, but out of the post, he doesn't want to do the double hop out of the step back. You see, he doesn't go back far enough. However, all is not lost. Let's see if he has a LaMarcus Aldridge. So the LaMarcus Aldridge is basically after the post hop, you do the natural you do the shot step back, like with the square button. So like that. So let's see how far back I can get him to go. So he has more of a sidestep, side hop. Let me tell you something. If he had a really good one of these, there we go. Okay. Let's try and see if we can get that to combo better. He's not really smooth with it, but I would still use it. Yeah, it's definitely good enough to use. It's something I would throw in the arsenal. Again, he doesn't have the ball handle to threaten the same way like Weber and LaMarcus Aldridge can, but I would say he's got some game out of that position for sure. Yeah, his ball handle is just a little too low for him to play that game seriously, but he's so tall. Keep in mind at 7'3" with his shot ratings and hot zones and badges and everything else, this is better in and of itself than it is with other characters, because to contest him you really got to get out on him. And if you combo into that little mini step back out of that, I'm telling you, like, this is not going to be a contest with most cards. If you master this, Big Z will feel like a broken character against some people. That's going to be really, really strong for him. Let's see how he looks with it in the mid-range. Woo! Yeah, you can green that every single time. So yeah, Big Z definitely has a lot of sauce. I think he's a very good card. He is going to be a little slow in the pick and roll. Wally Warrior says he's better Porzingis. I would agree with you, except for the fact that I haven't played Porzingis, so I don't feel comfortable making the direct comparison. But on paper and from what I've seen of Porzingis, I'm inclined to agree. He's slightly slower than Porzingis, but he's at worst equal of a shooter. Most likely, probably a better shooter, to be honest with you. And he's a better post-up player, and he's a better interior defender. So yeah, I'm super glad I have the Big Z card. Now I do have a viable replacement for Marc Gasol. I was going to go with Aldridge, but I knew I was giving up some defensive stuff with Aldridge. I was giving up a little bit of size. But with Z, I'm giving up a little bit of speed, but everything else he's like better at. So there you go. So that wraps it up for Big Z. Hope you guys enjoyed this. This card is really amazing. If he's still going for cheap in the 30 to 40K area, I do think that this is probably a pretty good card to pick up. Almost no matter what you're running, because he can defend giants and hit the 3. And that's a very, very valuable role in 2K. If someone's running Bam, you might have to sit him on the bench, but that's kind of the nature of the center position. You need versatile, you need a flexible center lineup if you want to be able to face everything. So when people come in with Shaq, you bring out Big Z. They come in with Yao, you bring out Big Z. If they come in with Porzingis or Bam or even Hakeem, you can bring out, you know, Anthony Davis or Bam Adebayo to deal with that. So yeah, I think he fits in the game. I think he's excellent. I hope this helped you so much. You said you have Sabonis. You're about to put them both on the floor and see what's up. I just hope you don't face any pick and rolls, Car. Say what's up, homie. So yeah, that wraps it up for Big Z. Seems like a really fantastic card. Let me tell you, he seems like a lot of fun as well. Should be a really fun post-up card. Just don't. If you take a couple of things away from this video, definitely his post step backs and all of that stuff's really good, but his hezzy left stick crossover is actually really cheesy and broken. That is way too good for a big guy to be able to change directions that quickly. That is super silly. No, I haven't gotten Kirilenko yet. And then into the post dunk, you can make people rage quit with this card by doing silly things with him. So that wraps it up for Big C, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks to everybody who showed up in the chat and all of you guys who show up in the comment section. I will see you guys in the next one. Wow. Wow, Siri. Like right at the end of the video. You couldn't even let me out of here.